Hey guys, welcome back. Today I want to talk about what possible cards will come in the next pack. We already have some leaks available from the beginning of the week. If you have not seen the leaks, go check out the video in the top right corner and then you can see the leaks that we already have. But obviously we will receive way more cards in the next pack coming on. I think it was the 8th of August here, but let's quickly talk because I think there are three main sets that we have to consider when it comes to what we will get in the next pack. The packs being Phantom Nightmare, Legacy of Destruction, and then Battles of Legend, Terminal, Revenge. I personally do not think that we will get cards from Infinite Forbidden, which is the set that we are currently on in the TCG, namely the set where the Fiendsmith cards are in. I personally don't think that we will do this. This would be kind of like giving us Snake Eye cards way in advance. I don't think that Konami will make this move again, which would also make Snake Eyes and Jubel insanely strong decks. Not really seeing it, but let's just hop right in. We have here Phantom Nightmare, and we can see that here are the Jubel cards. We have the Jubel cards already. Another archetype, and you have talked about this in the leaks actually, that we could see coming within the next pack, and I could definitely see this coming, is Raid Raptor. So new Raid Raptor support, which definitely makes this deck playable and way better. They also get a new boss monster. We will see this in a moment here. Another big archetype which also could come is Goblin Biker. So we are on Phantom Nightmare here. We have a lot of Phantom Nightmare stuff already, but then again, there are also a lot of Phantom Nightmare archetypes that still need a support or will get a new support. The Raid Raptor support line is definitely a bit smaller, obviously, than the Goblin Biker support line, because this is not really a support line. This is the beginning of the archetype, whereas these are only new cards for the archetype. So we can definitely tell what might come to us by the fact how big the pack is that we need to get, basically. Obviously, if there are only two new cards, this is not the case for Raid Raptor, but if there would be only two new cards for Raid Raptor coming, it will obviously be way more likely that we will get them in the next pack than a completely new archetype like Goblin Biker, which need way more cards in the first wave for the deck to be even playable. So we normally only see one or two new archetypes, mostly one new archetype being introduced in one pack, and then support cards for other archetypes. For example, in this case, could be the support cards for the Raid Raptor strategy here. So we could also see Goblin Biker. Then we have Snake Eyes. This one we already have. The new Goatee stuff, I think we already have the new Goatee stuff in the game. Let me quickly check so I don't tell you anything wrong here, because we can just go ahead and type Goatee in here to see that the new Goatee cards actually have not arrived yet. There are only two new Goatee cards. So this is what I'm talking about. For example, these are only support cards, so new archetype here. So getting these two new Goatee cards could definitely come. Definitely not something that would be crazy. We have the Memento stuff. We already have this. And here's the big thing, and I've talked about this in the leaks already. I am definitely expecting Voiceless Voice to be in the next pack, because the first leaks we have received for the next pack are really not that great, really not a fan favorite deck. And I think that Konami wants to design it that way, that every pack basically contains an archetype that people are very hyped for, in order for the people obviously to buy the pack. And in my opinion, Voiceless Voice will with a big likelihood be in the next pack, also because it has been a long time since a good ritual archetype has been added to the game. Unfortunately, we have a Jubel at a very strong point, and then also Snake Eyes in the game, which definitely means that Voiceless Voice will not be at the strong point that it could be if these decks were a bit weaker. I also think that we will get more of the support cards for Voiceless Voice, the support cards that have been released here in Legacy of Destruction, which would be the new Saphira, but more importantly, they have gotten this new spell card here, the Blessing of the Voiceless Voice. Very nice for the deck, definitely something that the deck needs in order to play the long grind game, which the deck definitely can. So I am wholeheartedly expecting Voiceless Voice coming in the next pack. But guys, you can obviously let me know what you think of all of my predictions here. By the way, if you like my videos, please consider subscribing, hitting the thumbs up and the notification bell, as this helps me out a lot. We have the new Aroma Lilith cards, which also are very interesting here, that would make the Rika deck way stronger, even though there's another archetype coming in Legacy of Destruction, which also will make Rika way stronger. There's the Magic Spectre stuff. We already have this. And then we can go, these are like single cards that don't really fit or belong to any archetype here, so they could come at any point without having too big of an impact. We have cards like the EMP Meow Mine already. And then obviously there are cards like the Skull Guardian for Voiceless Voice. We have the Jubel cards just been added to us within the last update. Enigmaster Packbit, also a very interesting card here that can be used in decks like, for example, Labyrinth, and I didn't want to click on that. And there are the Raid Raptor boss monsters. As you can see that there are basically 4 new Raid Raptor cards, and this is definitely not much. So we can definitely expect Raid Raptor to come within the next pack. I think Konami wants to finish Phantom Nightmare in order for us to go to Legacy of Destruction. And then we have the Goblin Biker stuff. But if I would have to say whether we get the Goblin Biker stuff or the Voiceless Voice stuff, I think it's way more likely we get the Voiceless Voice stuff because, and I already said this, people are more excited for the cards. We have gotten the Magic Spectre cards. Promethean Prince is obviously already in the game since December, which is crazy to think about. And then there are new Raid Raptor stuff here, the spell cards, and yeah, the Goblin Biker, and once again Voiceless Voice. So the Snaker cards we already have in the game. We have the Horus cards, and yeah, so the big one being the Aroma cards, the Voiceless Voice cards, the Goblin Biker cards, and then we had one more that is very relevant from this pile here that I forgot now. It's not the Goatee cards actually. It's Voiceless Voice, it's the Goblin Biker stuff, and it's the Raid Raptor stuff. These are the 3 big ones here with some small stuff that could be added to the game. But as I already said, I am very much sure that we will get Voiceless Voice within the next pack. Will we get a Voiceless Voice and Goblin Biker? I don't think so. This is what I have talked about already. I'm not really seeing, and this wasn't really the case in the past, that we get 2 completely new archetypes in one pack. Not really that likely, but could also be the case if Konami just wants to finish this pack here. Also cool cards like the Black Goat's Laugh coming, cards like Iron Thunder we already have, and then down here Swallow's Quarry for Flaunderies, but hopefully it does not get strong again in the TCG. And then obviously we also have the Ashen cards here, which is the TCG imported stuff. Not really seeing this coming into the next pack because not really a fan favorite and therefore not really able to push the popularity of the next pack. So I am guessing Voiceless Voice or maybe Goblin Biker. And then I could also see the combination with the missing Raid Raptor cards, to be honest. Let's talk about Legacy of Destruction, because we already have some cards of Legacy of Destruction, even if not that many, right? We have this Silent Magician Zero thing. This could definitely be something that could come in the next pack, as this, it makes sense to combine a less prominent archetype with one that is very prominent like Voiceless Voice, and a lot of people are waiting for. Obviously Ancient Gear stuff, not really seeing this coming in the next pack either, honestly. And then we have very interesting stuff here. Melodious is coming, cards like I guess these will be dropped within the few next packs, like Snake Eyes Diabellstar or the Diabellse. And then we have the Ragnar Raika cards, which will make Rika once again very strong, especially if we already have the Aroma Lilith cards. And then obviously the big thing here is Tenpai Dragon, right? Tenpai Dragon, a completely new archetype with I think around about 7 cards that we would get probably. I am imagining that if we get the Tenpai stuff, we also get the new Tenpai cards, Genroku, and then also Dora Draco, which here is Sangen Kaimen missing. Those are around 8 cards. I do not expect that we will get Tenpai in the next pack. I would very much be surprised. I can definitely see Tenpai coming in the pack after. And if we get Tenpai, I also see us getting Tenpai at basically full power, if you want to call it that. So I am also expecting then to get Genroku and Doa Draco, which is what Konami has done within the past, basically. We have stuff like, for example, the Celatries Valmonica already, which is what I just talked about. Konami giving us basically full power versions of the decks. We have the Light Swan stuff. The new Light Swan stuff also kind of a fan favorite here. So this might be like a bit of a like shadow pick for the archetype coming within the next pack. Could be the case, but I am sticking to Voiceless Voice. And then what else is interesting here? We have obviously the Melodious stuff, which is a deck in and of itself. Also, there are already a lot of Melodious cards. Melodious, once again, is like an archetype that already has a lot of cards, as you can see right here, and we are missing 5 cards, which is actually not that, which actually is a lot of cards to basically have only another support wave here. So not really seeing this in the next pack. And then we can see there's the other stuff for oh man, I'm blanking. Temper Dragon, of course, which obviously I talked about Temper Dragon with 7 cards, but you can see there are a lot of more coming, so 9 cards. This is a big pile, and not really seeing this in the next pack, but maybe the pack afterwards. New Goblin Biker cards. I can definitely see us getting Varudras in the next pack, which is a nice addition for Jubel. Can definitely see that here. Ragnarika is an archetype that I think will have to wait a little bit longer in order to be implemented into the game. And then we have the spell cards supporting all of these archetypes we just talked about. Nightmare Throne, we have it already, and here you can once again see what Konami is doing, which is giving us all the important cards for an archetype, but not the additional cards, right? So we get all the cards for Jubel, but we didn't get the Varudras, which is played in Jubel, but this is not how Konami operates. They're giving us all the engine cards, but then again, not like supporting pieces that are not yet released. We also have all the Memento stuff here, and the Centurion stuff, once again proving how Konami likes to do it. And I also think this is very nice, giving us basically full power archetypes. I really like this, which is why I also think that, for example, the Fiendsmith stuff, which has just been announced, there have just been announced new Fiendsmith cards for the next core set here, so we can quickly check this here on Master Duel Meta, and you can see we have new Fiendsmith support coming in. Rotar, which is the set after Info Infinite Forbidden, which we won't even talk about today, but I can see us getting the Fiendsmith stuff at the point that the TCG will get these cards here, and then I can see us getting all of the Fiendsmith stuff that has been released to this point, so it might be a while down the line until we get the Fiendsmith stuff here. We have all the Harmonica stuff already, and then, as I already said, the Ancient Gear stuff, not really seeing this in the next pack. And I think then, what was the TCG exclusive for this one? New Vados cards, new Ashen cards here. We won't get this in the next pack, pretty sure. Not quite sure. Wasn't there a TCG exclusive in this one? Let me know in the comments. What was the TCG exclusive in this set here? Because I can't really find it. And then we had another set that we can talk about quickly, where we'll get, for example, the full armored Utopic Ray Lancer, as well as the big fusion. Is it in here, the big fusion Blue Eyes monster? It wasn't, right? But yeah, we have the Battles of Legend Terminal Revenge, which is also something that I don't think we will get a lot of cards from, besides the Ice Barrier cards that have been leaked already. So once again, you can see we are still on this set here, and this would be the next one to come, Legacy of Destruction, which we have not gotten a lot of cards from, but Konami is already giving us cards from this pack here, Battle of Legends Terminal Revenge, which is the newest one basically, besides Infinite Forbidden, and we will get the Ice Barrier cards, obviously. So this is why I also think that we won't get anything else from this pack, like the Infernoid stuff or the Ritual Beast stuff. Ritual, also something that we already have a lot of cards in the game, which I wasn't really aware because I've never seen this deck. A very cool combo deck that relies a lot on its own boss monsters, which is always very cool. You can see we are getting 5 new cards for this archetype here, but once again, not in the next pack, I guess. Toy, once again, another cool thing here that will be able to be splashed in the White Forest card deck, which comes with info, so also something that we will not see quite soon, in my opinion. And then, is there something else interesting in here? We have new support for Sky Striker, which we already have gotten, so they are for Phantom of Jubel, for example. But this, once again, proves their way of doing things. They just pick everything from every set that supports an archetype that they want to release, and then just release all the supporting pieces at once, which I really like. And then there are some reprint cards here and the Infernoid stuff, which could also be in the next pack, but don't really see it. I think we won't see anything from this pack besides the Ice Barrier stuff within the next pack, and I am calling Voiceless Voice in combination with, for example, the Raid Raptor stuff. I could really see this coming. I would be very surprised if we get a Sangenpai, so the Tenpai Dragon stuff here, and I would be even more surprised if we will get the Fiendsmith stuff, as I think this will be further down the line. But guys, let me know what you think of my predictions here. What do you think will come next? What are you most excited about? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for being here, and we will see each other in the next one.